Hey guys, Monty here. Today's video, I just wanted to go over the RTX 3000 series. Well, they announced them. It looks like the 3080 gets released next week. Yeah, just my thoughts on it. Like what I'm probably gonna go to a RTX 3080. Probably for the win. I'll be going with EVGA. I just prefer their graphics cards. Used their graphics cards, gosh, years ago, right? Over 10 years ago, probably. Yeah, I like EVGA cards. Never had a problem with them as far as graphics cards go. Yeah, I'll be going for the EVGA for the win, probably, or the Black Edition, whatever. Really, whatever is the cheapest. I mean, performance wise, it's going to be probably a little bit better than my 2080 Ti, and that's what I wanted to touch on. A lot of people are saying like it's just so much, it's double the performance of a 2080. So RTX probably, but I want to see like actual benchmarks of playing actual games, not with DLSS or any of that on. I just want to see raw benchmarks. I've been seeing a lot on that, like Facebook groups and whatnot. Everybody's actually going crazy over the 3000 series, and it's really funny. It's because there's not even really any benchmarks out that prove anything. There's the benchmarks that are out that show RTX and what NVIDIA has released, and I've seen some stuff on there as well that people. I don't know if that's necessarily leaked or if it's to believe or not, but so I did see those. I don't think that it's going to be double performance of my 2080 Ti, and that's kind of the thing where it's like I'm not butthurt about the price. I don't care. The card's already paid for the 2080 Ti. I bought it at release date on EVGA's website. I don't know when it whenever it came out a year or two ago. So I'm not really butthurt about it. Doesn't matter to me at all. Worst case scenario, I just keep the graphics card and put it in another build. I'm not worried about it. It's not a big deal. But on top of that, it really depends. See, this card's already paid off. I don't have to go sink $700 or $800 on a credit card or financing to get the new graphics card, right? So depending on the performance, right? So if the performance is 20 frames per second or less on average of all games, and we're going to see on YouTube next week. Looks like Monday that embargo lifts. If I don't see 20 frames, more than 20 frames per second on the increased on the 3080 over the 2080 Ti, I won't be buying it. Simply for the fact is I'll be spending $700, $800 just for a 20 FPS increase. Yeah, 20 FPS, still 20 FPS. But at the same time is this card's already paid off. I'm already getting pretty much over 100, 120 frames per second at pretty much maxed out settings anyways. So, you know, just looking at that, it just does not make any kind of sense at all to upgrade from that. Now, a lot of people, probably might not have a 2080 Ti, so that would make more sense for them to upgrade, right? I get that, but since I already have a 2080 Ti, and you guys see the games that I've been playing, it's going to be an increase. I'm not denying it's not going to be an increase. I'm just saying that I don't know if it makes sense for me to upgrade. I'm still skeptical. Again, I want to wait for the reviews to come out. That's kind of where I'm at this point. I see a lot of fanboys and a lot of people arguing and stuff on these Facebook groups, I want to wait for the benchmarks before I do anything. Just because a lot of people are selling their graphics cards, everybody's going nuts right now. The thing with that is we don't even really even know what the performance is like. We're just going based off what Nvidia says, and I'm going to take what anybody says with a grain of salt until they release some damn benchmarks, because it's all fluffed up. I don't play any games. I don't know any video game that I play that has DLSS in it. I mean, WoW Shadowlands is coming up, but that's pretty much it. Even at that point, ray tracing and all that, like, yeah, I play Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, those types of games as well. But just basing it on my 2080 Ti, I'm at 1440p. So if I'm not mistaken, I can't use any of those settings anyways. There might be DLSS, but even then, I haven't seen a game that I play that it's implemented in. All I'm saying is don't jump into the RTX hype. It's because they've been hyping it 2-3 years ago when the 2000 series came out, and look where it's at now. I'm not using any features. I'm just a regular. You could say shit. I'm a casual gamer, right? Because I got to work 50 hours plus a week, so I'm just a casual gamer, right? It's a big deal, whatever. All the games that I play, Diablo, WoW, Overwatch, Call of Duty Warzone, Battlefield 5, BF1, BF4, any of the Far Cry games, right? The latest Far Cry game that they got. Tomb Raider games, all those. Yeah, so they run all fine on the 2080 Ti. I am totally going to take out, I'm totally going to get the 3080 if I'm getting more than 20 frames per second. But at the same time, like I said, is I already have a 2080 Ti. So all I'm going to see is a slight improvement is more or less what I'm going to see. I'm getting new architecture, sure, but I already have like my CPU and GPU together is it's a pretty good combo already. Um, I would have to look at a new cooling solution for the graphics card because like very likely the NZXT G12 probably does not fit that new graphics card. I know the die size I think it's a little bit bigger. I don't know how the holes are exactly for the mounting for the cooler, but that's another thing. That might just be a I'd have to go for a hybrid if I want to do something like that, which I'm not opposed to, but it costs more money, and I already have this NZXT X42 sitting here, so at that point it wouldn't make any sense to do that. It wouldn't. I would like a hybrid. It just costs more money. I would just rather use what I already have. But again, I want to wait until the benchmarks come out before I do anything. Everybody's jumping the wagon already. I want to wait until it comes out. 3090, too much money. I don't need a Titan card. How many more frames physically per second do you think I'm going to actually get over what I got now? I don't think that I'm going to get that much. I don't think a 3090 is going to be double performance. There ain't a chance in hell. I don't think that it's going to be double. I think we might see, I don't know, the 3090 might be 50% better video game wise. I'm not talking about anything else. Just talking about FPS, no RTX, no DLSS, none of that. Just straight up raw FPS on just any game really. If 1440p is what I play, I don't think that the 3090 is going to be 50%. I mean, if it is, I will gladly go buy it. I just these numbers they're throwing out. I think it's all marketing hype is all it is. I'm totally going to buy one. I'm not hating on Nvidia. I'm just saying that I don't believe the numbers. A 3080 is going to be double than 2080. Probably an RTX crap, yeah, sure. But is it going to be you're going from 100 frames per second to 200 on any games? I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I think at most, like I said, you might see a 30% increase, just raw FPS. I'm waiting to be proved wrong Monday. I sure am because, like I said, I already have a 2080 Ti. I don't really necessarily need to upgrade. It's just really upgrading just because. Same. I had a 10900K is what I got in here now. Whenever I got the CPU on launch, I was working a lot of overtime. So I just said, screw it, it's, why not just buy it? I upgraded my computer from an 8700K that was delidded. I was at 5 gigahertz on that CPU as well. I was able to sell that off to a buddy of mine with my motherboard and RAM and stuff. So that wasn't really a loss per se, but at the same time, I didn't really need to upgrade, right? The only reason why you see all of this, and I'm talking to you guys about upgrading and all that, is just to kind of have like a discussion, right? To see who else is upgrading out there, right? Who else is getting a 3080 or 3090 or thinking about it? I'd say if you have a 2080 Ti right now, I'd say probably hold off in the sense that I don't know, or I'm just thinking right now. I don't think that it makes much financial sense. If you have money to burn, sure, what the hell? You just get two 3090s, right? But going from 2080 Ti to 3080. I don't know. I'm so undecided right now. I need to wait on the benchmarks first before it gets my stamp of approval. Just because the FPS gain, what they're claiming, I don't necessarily believe, and I don't think that it's going to come out. I just all I'm saying is I don't think that they reinvented the wheel per se on graphics cards, right? If they're getting these kinds of gains and over AMD and Intel, it's hard to believe. They didn't make the die bigger, so obviously more performance. But what's strange is about it, and what's interesting is that the card is not the full length in the sense the PCB is not the full length, right? Of like how it normally is, like my 2080 Ti is, whereas like 2/3 of it is PCB and the other third is like a fan shroud, right? Like aluminum heatsink. Now that's what's interesting. I wonder why they made that shorter. But we'll see next week. We'll see Monday. What the benchmarks are going to show. What graphics cards to get. I'm probably, like I said, probably get an EVGA for the win. I'll probably get that. It really depends on price. I'm not spending $1,000 on for 20 or 30 more frames per second. It is sure as hell not worth doing that. Considering I could play any game out there at 1440p and get my monitor refresh rate of 120 hertz just fine, really. I mean, it's not that big of a difference. Now, you guys did see my video on Horizon Zero Dawn. So you did see the FPS dip. So see something like that, it would help, sure, but at what cost of, you know, your wallet, right? How much do you want to spend to achieve that? Like, yeah, it'd be nice to have a little bit more frames, but again, cost wise, you know, there's a pandemic going on. I know a lot of people aren't working right now, so thankfully I'm grateful to be able to work, but at the same time it just seems really foolish to spend, you know, 800 to 1,000 for something that might give me 20 more frames per second. That's kind of where I'm at. And even if I did sell my card, I'd probably maybe sell it for $400 maybe is probably all I'd get. Even at that point, I just feel like it's just not worth selling, and it's not that I'm butthurt over the price that I'd get. It's just, it's not really, I guess I'm not super inclined to sell it right now. It's because the same reason as I'm skeptical about the 3080 benchmarks, right? The FPS you're going to get in games and stuff. So I'm kind of holding off on that. And yeah, I'm just really waiting to see Monday. Once Monday comes, I'll be able to see what the frames per second is, what we're getting on all the games. I'm sure Jay's 2 cents, Gamers Nexus, a lot of those guys are going to have their reviews. Linus Tech Tips are all going to have their reviews up shortly, I'm sure, come Monday, hopefully, and we'll be able to see what all this hype's about. So pretty much once we see 3080, if I'm totally wrong about this, and we're actually getting a lot more frames per second, then shit, I'm first in line buying that 3080 on what is it, next Thursday or Friday, whenever it comes out. I think the 3080 they said was the same die. It just has some cores that are disabled and some other stuff. Less memory, of course. But going from 2080 Ti to a 3080, I would lose, I believe, 1 gig of VRAM, which is not really the end of the world. It really depends on the benchmarks, the frames per second. If it's 20 or less, I'm not upgrading. It makes no sense at all. If it's more than 20, depending on what it is, I'm probably gonna. It's either gonna suck or I'm gonna be blown away. It's one of the two. It's probably not gonna be in the middle. So we have to wait till Monday what they say as far as the benchmarks go. And I do have a Corsair AX760i power supply. That's 760 watt. It's platinum. I do run my UPS down here as well, and it usually shows I pull about 550 watts max. I couldn't imagine the 3080 is going to be pulling any more really than my 2080 Ti. I'm going to check on that. If so, it might be 100 extra watts, but I kind of doubt it. And even at that point, I still have headroom. So even at running at 5.2 gigahertz on my 10900K, it doesn't really matter. Even if I was at 6 something watts, I'm okay with that. Because I did buy a better power supply. It is a platinum rated, a lot higher efficiency. If I run it at 6 something watts, I'll run it at 6 something watts. I'm sure the engineers at Corsair engineered this to run at its capacity. Of course, I don't want to run it at 760 watts, obvious reasons, but running it at 600 watts, I'm okay with that. That's cool with me. It does not matter. I don't want to have to spend any more money than what I have to just to get it right. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. I don't really need to upgrade really anything else. And from what they're saying, Nvidia's saying online on their benchmarks that they paired it with the 10900K, and it's working just fine. So that's kind of what I'm gonna go with. 3080 probably like I said, next Thursday, Friday, I'll go buy one because I have a local Micro Center here, so I could just go into the store and buy it on launch day. That's what I did with my 10900K. There wasn't even a line or anything, so that's kind of the goal. Worst case, if I can't buy one at Micro Center, I'll probably buy one at EVGA.com or Amazon.com, Best Buy, Newegg, B&H Photo, Adorama. One of them's going to have it to where I could buy it, so I'm not really concerned about it. But I'm only going to be buying an EVGA one, either Black Edition for the win. Doesn't really matter to me. Frames per second difference is probably not going to be that big of a spread anyways. And also cost. Those different manufacturers, if I'm not getting the Founders Edition, it's probably going to add an extra $100 or $200 to the price anyway. So I don't know. I might just get the Founders Edition. It's really hard to say. Founders Edition looks fine, and Depending on the temperature wise, I might just end up throwing, figuring out a cooling solution for an all-in-one, like what I have with my 2080 Ti anyway. So, that's kind of where I'm at right now. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions about the 3080, my thoughts and all that, you guys asking any other kind of questions, just drop them down in the comment section below. Go ahead and like this video. Subscribe if you haven't, just because of kind of, enjoying this YouTube thing. A lot of people are asking me questions. I like answering them. I usually answer usually pretty quickly. So if I don't answer right away, don't worry. I still am here. It's just I'm either sleeping or I'm working or I'm eating or I'm doing something else. But anyways, I definitely appreciate you guys all watching these videos, supporting the channel. I definitely appreciate that as well. Check out the links below as well. That's what I have. I have all my computer gear. All the stuff is down in the description. As far as all the parts of my computer build and whatnot. So check those out as well. Appreciate you guys watching the video. Like I said, thumbs up and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I think I can hit that. So, and thanks for watching.